Hey everyone, what's good? Welcome back. So excited to be here today, and it's been a few days since the last video, so I had to bring you something really juicy. And that is the first draft style format on MTG Spellslingers that the MTG-SS team put together, something they had an idea of doing before I got there, and as a huge drafter and limited player in Magic the Gathering, I was like, oh, hell yeah, I want to do this. So what you're seeing is the deck that I ended up with. I, we'll see if we can improve my drafting in the future, but I did want to try a particular kind of idea for this. So, two quick things, first off, thank you everyone for your support of the channel. Definitely please like and subscribe if you're liking the videos, if you want to see more content. It was a little sporadic because of some computer issues, but we're fully back online. And I think this series of draft videos, and we're going to go through it because there's so many different ways you can do this with your team or with your friends. I just think we might be opening up a really cool door to a whole new format in this game. So the two quick notes, and I'm going to show kind of our process with this, and then we're going to get into a game with Boss MTG, who was the number one player last season, is the number one player this season, part of the team, of course. And we'll see how those games go. He drafted a pretty nice one. Two things. So they set some rules. One was we're going to do this sort of rotisserie style draft. So it's basically like round robin, right? So someone gets a first pick, right? It goes kind of through, and then the person on the end gets two picks. It goes back around, and I'm going to show you a visual just so you can see it and some of the details of the deck lists and the pick orders. But yeah, I think you can set this up with as many players as you want technically, and you could even go by set. I know for me, I'm kind of interested in maybe we draft by set next time, see how that feels, which could be kind of cool. This time we had basically no limits. You draft a legendary, that's your one card. You've got 15 picks because the decks are 30 cards. So if you pick, Oath of the Paladin, right, that's only one card that you're getting. But if you pick Thraben Sentry, you get to play two copies of that card. And they're sideboards, and it's best of three, which is really, really exciting. So any card that I have access to, I can use as my sideboard, and I can actually just think about, okay, do I need to be more mid-range for this matchup? Do I need to have more removal for this matchup? It's great. It's really, really fun. And then the other thing is you might spy a defensive constructor like, Tim, why did you waste a pick on a really, really bad card, even if you're running Paragon of Balance, which it synergizes with? We allowed ourselves to have access to, I think it's 12 core cards, which are just these kind of filler cards, which I thought was a really cool idea. So you know what? Let's just hop on over. I'm going to show y'all what I am talking about. So, first off, these are the core cards, right? Defensive Construct, Filigree Fox, all these other ones. For me, when I was looking at the draft, I was like, okay, cool. If I need some sort of unconditional removal, I've got Rejected that I can pull out from the sideboard. If I need something defensive, maybe Construct. If I want another 1-mana 2/2, I could play Filigree Fox, or maybe making a 2-mana 2/3 makes sense. And I had sort of seen some of these more aggro cards, so I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll try drafting an aggro deck. That's kind of why we ended up with Gideon. But yeah, so I thought this was a really cool idea because not only does this kind of like serve as like a 12 card sideboard for you, but you can kind of make different picks based on knowing, oh, if I need an extra copy of a 1-drop, a 2-drop, all the way up to 7-drop, I have an option. And I thought that was a really kind of cool thing that we could draw on this like agreed upon card pool. And like some decks can utilize it better, right? And I thought that was like a sweet strategic component. But let's flip on over to the real things. We're all looking at a Google Sheet. I don't know if anyone does work from home or whatever. Sometimes you're like, last thing I want to see is another Google Sheet. But here we have it, the Spellslingers Rotisserie Draft 1. We've got some other rules on the side here. Don't worry about that. I would say the big thing is here's how we go with the picks, right? So Boss was pick 1 with Grudge Match here, then Daybreak Ranger, Young Pyromancer, Flagrant Foul, Unsummon. I took Oath of the Paladin because I was kind of like, all right, green has definitely already been kind of established. The young Pyromants are probably going to run, you know, a Ral deck. Oh, sorry, almost skipped over the most interesting part. You get to pick from any of the Planeswalkers by the end of your deck, so you don't lock into a Planeswalker when you first pick. You are purely like able to just choose any Planeswalker and build your deck with that Planeswalker. Of course, as long as you can deck build with it. Um, so my thinking with picking Oath of the Paladin was like, you know what? Let me take a powerful white card that has basically 3 cards stapled onto it. I think that's going to be good when we're thinking about decks that are not just purely constructed. Um, and I will say like some of my teammates I think stuck more with like I'm gonna basically try and build a standard deck, a constructed deck, which I think is totally fine. And my style, I was like, you know what, I want to try something that's like maybe more aggressive, yeah, a little less powerful maybe, but I'm gonna try and stick to an open lane. So I ended up going Oath of the Paladin first pick, Path to Exile second pick, and by this time, kind of seeing what people were picking, I know I'm fighting over a little bit of white with Connell here, and I did want Stoneforge Mystic. That was a really good first pick by them, and maybe that's what I should have taken. Who knows? But it's just so cool. I love drafting, and I think this game has so much potential because you have like the Spellslinger signature cards, right? You can factor that in to your drafting. You can, and like I said, you can draft by set, by like a cube, right? A predetermined number of cards. You could basically kind of like figure out a way to modify packs to open. Like there's so much we could do as a community to bring drafting or bring limited gameplay, and I'm just obviously, as you can tell, very thrilled to be here bringing this to you all today. So I think what I'm going to do real quick is just hop over to the deck and talk a little bit about kind of what my idea was for this strategy, and then we will get into our best of 3 with Boss MTG. So, like I said, right, I wanted to start with Oath of the Paladin because there were like no white cards taken yet, and I was like, I kind of feel like maybe playing a more aggro style deck might be a little bit better rewarded in a draft, where we're not strictly just given our best constructed deck. That was kind of my approach. I don't know if that's the best. I've drafted for a very long time. That's how I learned Magic. And the main thing I always try to do, pick the open lane, right? And I think after picking Oath of the Paladin, Path to Exile, and then seeing that I'm only fighting over white with like one other drafter, I was like, all right, let me take a powerful 2-drop in Sun Empire Brawler. And probably by pick 5 or 6, I was like probably going towards Gideon. And that's where I kind of locked into this whole build with, I drafted Training Yard, because you also have to draft a land if you want to have a non-basic land, which I thought was excellent. I just love that. And I went with the Paragon package. I basically was like, all right, no one's going to want Thraben Sentry, Daughter of Runes, Silver Griffin, or like Frontline Paladin. So I was like, there's going to be a lot of free picks that I can get, but let me make sure I slam Paragon of Balance first, because if I pick these and then someone's like, all right, I see what Tim's trying to do, let me go pick Paragon of Balance, whether I can use it or to screw them over, because you do have enough cards with the core cards to build a full deck. I wanted to make sure that my pick order made sense, right? So it's Oath of the Paladin, Path to Exile, Sun Empire Brawler, Sun Titan. I think this might have been a mispick, but I kind of was like, all right, in a best of 3, I might want Sun Titan in order to have a better long game. And turns out I actually had no Sun Titans in my collection. So I crafted one, and I was like, one's good enough, that's fine. And then I locked in Training Yard because I was just like, I think whether I play Drist, whether I play Gideon, whether I play Nahiri, or Kaya, right? Because technically I'm open to all of those planeswalkers. I felt like Training Yard was just a really, fine pick to spend. And then I took Lead and War Leader because I was like, all right, this is solid 3-drop. It's got card advantage. It's just often going to be a 2-for-1 when it gets to attack. And then Daughter, here's where I was kind of scrambling, and I was like, all right, do I want to go mid range or do I want to go aggro? And I just haven't played a ton of aggro recently. Domri's more mid range in those videos I've made. So we picked Daughter of Runes, and from there I was like, all right, let's lock in Paragon of Balance, and then let's just fill out the deck, right? Thraben Sentry, Sylvan Griffin, Frontline Paladin. Took Sylvia Brightspear because I thought it was kind of a cool, uh, pseudo, like, answer to more mid-range decks, right? Just giving everything 1 health, and then if the next turn I get to slam Paragon of Balance, that can be like a huge blowout. And then I just felt like Team Captain, Captain the Guard were just good 5 drops to fill out the curve. And then Raise the Guard I thought was just, potentially going to be a good trap. I ended up not going with it because I just wanted to kind of try this version of the deck and see how it was. So, Raise the Guard I think is really good, but I just kind of liked how the curve looked. And I, put a fair fight in here, to potentially have those really explosive draws. So we'll see how it goes. I think I could have done a lot better with this draft, and just love that the team was willing to do this, and I'm super excited to get started. So let's get these games going. All right, here we go. Boss MTG running the Vivian, of course. Their like favorite pet Spellslinger, although they've been playing a lot of Teferi recently. Oh man, I'm so excited. I feel like this matchup's gonna be hard, but here we are in the first Rochester Rotisserie draft on MTG Spellslingers. All right. Well, we definitely want to emphasize curving out. I do think Path to Exile is going to be important for the matchup. I really like War Leader 2. It might get outscaled. I think I'm going to ship back the Veteran. Hopefully we draw. Okay. Something cheap. We did not. We are on the draw, so we could start with Silver Griffin, but hopefully we can draw our Oath of the Paladin. And we do have access to each other's deck lists. I didn't go in and look at, Boss's deck, because I'm not super interested in doing that. Oh, that's so great for our curve. Okay. So, Boss might know my deck really well. I'm not really sure, but I'm just happy to play the matchups and see how they go. Beast Ponder, always good. Okay, we drew the Divine Smite really early. That's really great. I think we just want to curve out here. It might just be we play Silver Griffin this turn and then we Path to Exile this next turn. But also, if we draw a Paragon of Balance, we have a pretty decent curve here. Okay, Tusker with Ward. Attack for 4. Yep. Gonna take the 4 here. Okay, so we've got access to 4. So we're gonna hopefully be able to smite something next turn, but that's if we play a creature. And so maybe we're just gonna take 8 next turn. I don't love that, but that might be the play, because then we can Divine Smite and Brawler. So I think that's probably. Oh, this is Reach. I forgot. I forgot that this had Reach. That's my bad. Oh no. I sometimes I see this symbol and I think it's Relentless, and it's not. It's Reach. All right, we just have to take 8, and we're down a creature unfortunately because I was not paying attention. So game 1 is probably going to go to Boss here, but for game 2, I think we do probably bring in the Sun Titan because I think we're going to want more card advantage. We'll see what else. Oh, they have Karazakar. Interesting. Paragon doesn't do a ton here. I guess, honestly, I'm kind of down to just throw out the Divine Smite here and just get in with our War Leader. What's their telekinetic? Okay. I do want removal for this, but I can path it next turn. So let's do this. Get Aura of Courage in our deck, which I think is really important. Willing to trade here. And then, all right, we'll save our mana gem. Just run out the guard. Okay. Take 3, 4. They get a random red or blue card. And then return the strongest enemy creature to your opponent's hands. Okay. Beast Spawner again. With Ward. Okay. Interesting. Well, Aura of Courage allows us to trade and technically attack through with the dog. And then we can play Brawler. But also Karazakai is kind of a problem. So I think we probably need to path that. It's probably path Brawler, and then next turn maybe Fair Fight or Aura of Courage. If we Fair Fight this turn, it's not good for us. I think we do need to answer that, unfortunately. And it's really possible that I drafted myself into like just a too like fair of a deck, you know? Like it might have been wise to stick in green or maybe fight over green to like play stuff like Vivian because it kind of just lends itself to a lot of strategies. Interesting. Attacking for 7 here. And I really want to attack back next turn with Aura of Courage. So I think we just take 7 here. I don't love it, but I feel like, I mean, we're super behind now. Yeah, I mean, board just kind of blanks our whole board. Huh. Big Dog. Big Dog is interesting. So, if we go Fair Fight, then everything can trade with everything. So I guess that is the best play. Yeah. Block there, that makes sense. Gets to live. Trade. For 5. Okay. If they have a grudge match, this is going to be really rough. Because they just get to, like, 3 for 1 us. But. Flying. Okay. Oh! Yeah, that would do it. Alright, GG. Okay, so we get to sideboard, so I do think we want to go a little bit more mid-rangey, because they're more mid-rangey. But yeah, I made a huge play mistake, and also I do think getting into Vivian is probably not a great matchup. Alright, so let's go into our deck. And Fair Fight seems honestly pretty decent in the matchup because they have, Boss has so many ways to augment their creatures. So I think that's really good. I'm trying to think of like what I would want to cut. Probably just like a 1-drop because I'm not super concerned. I mean, I do want to curve out, but like having Sun Titan to potentially 2 for 1 and be a huge creature I think is great. We could board in another removal spell. I'm actually not opposed to that. Trying to think if that's... We still have plenty of 1-drops. I do like Defensive Construct. Like, maybe I just cut... Daughter of Runes is just generally good. Yeah, I'm going to put an Interject in. I think it's actually probably worth having another removal spell for their big stuff. We do kind of have a wealth of 5-drops, though. Like, I'm wondering if I should just cut a team captain, but I think let's try this. Let's try this. Okay. All right. Well, we've got 1, 2. So let's see what we can hit here. Yeah, we really just want to go wide and get our stuff up and running. All right, so let's definitely get Faithful Steed immediately. Try and maximize on our Divine Smite by turn 3. Also makes this bigger for Paragon of Balance if we hit it. So let's see. They could go a 2-drop here, or maybe Boss just wants to get the upgrade. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, and so we have we have 1 card, so okay. Yeah, I think we just want to go wide here. So I think we're just gonna go double 1-drop. Also, it gives armor to whatever next we draw. It is nice to run out the Brawler, but I'm kind of anticipating that there's going to be a 3 toughness creature coming out, and if we rip Divine Smite here, this is going to be awesome. Oh, but yeah, right. Ward is the upgrade that they had. Okay, that's okay though. So we can Divine Smite next turn. So if we attack with everything, they get to eat something. We do 3. That doesn't really do anything. So I think we'll just take Brawler here. Pass the turn. Karazakar, okay. Be kind of surprised if they attack for 3. It could. Yeah. Kind of makes sense, though. They're happy to trade here. But now I get to Divine Smite and attack free with the Sun Brawler. So, yeah, we're just going to take 3. Okay. I think as much as I want to get rid of Karazakar, I can attack through it and get some tempo here. And I think that's probably the best thing for me to do. So they can take the armor off here, which would be pretty reasonable. But we're getting to smack them for a good bit of damage. And if we rip the Aura of Courage off the top, that's going to be pretty good for us. So, we will see. Paragon of Balance would be fine as well. I mean, it would downgrade our Brawler, but yeah, this next one, though, Enervation Ray, is pretty punishing. Okay, armor. Yep, that's a good one. Come on, Aura of Courage. Come on, Aura of Courage. Nope, not quite. Alright. That's really unfortunate, because now we don't have valid attacks, and they can just steal 1 from every enemy. Yeah. Oh, this matchup is really just not working out, unfortunately. Like, even when I play a creature here, it's going to lose a power. But I guess, yeah, I don't really have an option not to. Yep. Pass the turn. But I think our line makes sense, or is pretty damn good if we draw Aura of Courage there. But now, you know, the thing is, like, Vivian's usually just going to out mid-range us, so it's pretty hard. Yeah, I mean, definitely attacking with Karazakhan makes sense. I think it's fine to attack with the... Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, so I'm gonna have basically no valid blocks on the 3/1, so probably just have to take it. Jeez, yeah, it's taking 5. Oh man, maybe I just really misevaluated in that I needed to kill this, but just felt like we had a really good attack with the line that we had. I don't love taking 8, but I think blocking the frill neck here is just going to be really punishing for us. Okay. Griffin and Aura of Courage. And Courage allows us to attack with Brawler, and that's it. But I guess that's good enough. Or if I attack with everything, so they get to eat 2 things? But then the others get bigger. I guess that's reasonable enough. I think 2 creatures die here, but we get to play Daughter of Runes. Can't really do anything about Karazakhan until maybe next turn when we play Silver Griffin. Path to Exile would be great, Eject would be great. But we're taking minimum 8, which is pretty rough. Yeah, they get to eat the frog. Oh, this is flying too. Jeez, yeah. A lot of flying upgrades. Well, I guess I'm happy they made that block. But yeah, we're taking minimum 8. Yeah, this hurts. Everything. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I can block there at least. Probably can't trade the Sun Empire Brawler because it's like our best attacker. It's Trample. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, that's pretty tough. So this is 8. So yeah, so I have to block here, I think. I can block here. And then 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I mean, I guess I have to block here because if I have a removal spell, that might let us live. So, sure, block here. Okay, there's the path. I mean, that's kind of huge. We can attack through, upgrade everyone. So let's do that and see what they do. Makes sense. Trade, take 2, or take 6. Okay. Fair enough. Huh, I guess we could just go Silver Griffin Paladin, but if they have a removal spell, we lose. Oh man, I think this is really close. Yeah, I guess we just have to do that. If there's any way to pump this, obviously we lose. Don't really know what our best draw could be. I guess like ejecting the flyer would be good. Sun Titan could be good. Oh, Mongrel, jeez. That's rough. Okay, well, take the armor off, I guess. Go to 1. Jeez, and Momirvik, yeah. They're just, yeah. I think this matchup was going to be really tough, unfortunately. Oh, okay. Drawing an extra card here. Gideon's Protection. Yeah, we don't have any. Armor and +1/+1 for the rest of the game. We're not summoning Gideon this turn. We are making these bigger. Let's see what we hit with Ardent Supporter. Okay. So we can't afford to treat a creature for an attack here. So I guess make this a 3/4. They block it. Make this a 2/4. They can block with Momir. I think that's fine. And then I can give. Oh, man. I can't do that. Alright, either way, I'm still making this attack. And this is pretty easy block here. And they can just block here, probably. They have any way to interact with us, we're dead. Okay. GG. Oh. Wait. Good game. Oh, boss. You're Vivian. Man. Yeah. It's just the creatures and the upgrades. It's way too efficient for like the go wide Gideon strategy. Also, I just feel like we didn't ever really get sort of Paragon going and that whole sort of fair fight scenario, but it was worth playing. So I might just see if we can get one more game here, just to. All right, last game definitely just wanted to. We usually do best of 3, and it was 0-2, but so I wanted to at least get one more game just to kind of show, what it's like when you're doing this draft format. I'm sure it's hard to have, good matchups across the board unless you're maybe lucky enough to draft certain decks. Oh no, if that was 1-drop, that would have been so good. But yeah, I really recommend doing this. I mean, this is the first, match where we've had it, so it should be. I think there's so many different things you could do with drafting in this game. And we're going to be showcasing every match on the channel. And yes, this deck might not work out, but I'm really excited to at least, get some reps in with this format and see how it all works out. Okay, so we've got Relentlessly Trample for the Frillneck. So obviously we don't have a valid attack here. I do like Faithful Steeding this, so I probably will. And then I think we just go Paladin. So let's start with that. And really quick, Boss was like, yeah, this matchup seems pretty hard with the toughness that Vivian creatures have. And I was like, yeah, probably not a great matchup. But, we're doing overall record across playing everyone. So I think it's going to be cool to see what works and what doesn't. Okay. So let's see. So still don't have a valid attack with the champion. I could attack here, but I'd rather use the armor defensively. And I think we are going to have to Divine Smite Karazakai this time. So I think we're just going to play War Leader, pass. And then next turn we can Divine Smite and maybe get an attack in. So we'll see. Reduce the cost of a random card in your hand. Raise the cost of a random card in their hand by 2. Yeah. The Ray that takes power from everything is just like the best one. Oh boy. Well, not playing Sun Titan this game, probably. Oh no. Double Spiked Baloth. Yeah, that's pretty scary. Oh man. Okay, well, I think we just got to Divine Smite this, and that's basically our turn. I could attack with the War Leader, but they're just going to block here. And although I want a card, is that worth it though? Oh, I don't know. I really don't know. Because then next turn I can be fair fight and attack with everything. And that's a pretty good line. So we might just have to take some damage here. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we might just need to take 8. If they attack here, I will block. And then we can fair fight next turn. But yeah, I'm hoping to get the other matches up on the channel as soon as possible. I'm just gonna be trying to queue those matches today and record all of them. So I'm just interested to see what the spread is like, because I know we've got a Liliana player, we've got a Ral player, we've got I think maybe an Nahiri player, a couple other ones. So, oh boy, that's a lot of damage, huh? Oh boy. Yeah, I guess I'm taking 11. I don't love it, but I don't really know that I have another choice. Alright. Fair fight. Which is not great for these, but we've got armor here, and I think they don't have a good block here, so I have Gideon's protection here to get the card advantage. It's probably the best thing we can do. Okay, healer is actually pretty relevant for our life total. I mean, having double armor here is definitely really helpful, and this being a 5/5 to get out of range is also really helpful. But having to deal with this 4/4 birds is not ideal. So, but I think if we're playing against a deck that's not necessarily mid-range, I think curves like these are pretty punishing for our opponents. So I guess we'll see. All right, trading there, taking 5, taking 9 total. That makes sense. So I wonder if they have a grudge match to be able to, like, fight or something. Forget what else they have in their list. Oh, arc bow? Oh, no. Probably going here. Essence of Earth. Yeah. Felnick. Okay. Well, it's not a crazy turn from them, so that's good. Probably just taking 4 from the birds. We get to crack back. Training yard, nice, okay. Ooh, Aura of Courage is actually huge. Wow, okay. Yeah, let's just Courage it up, baby. Let's go. Gideon's now 5/5. Got a Devoted Steed. Yep, makes sense. Taking 10 here, probably. And how do I want to do this? I guess this is most likely going to die. I mean, I can shield smith it to get it up to 4. So I could heal this, but I think I'm going to have to heal myself here. So yeah, let's just do this. Flying. Oh no. Not the flying. Oof, jeez. Yeah. That's pretty bad. Armor? Oh no. Oh, they armored that. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I am gonna block here. This makes sense. This obviously can't block, so. Alright. Paragon of Balance. Well, it does. It does shrink some of these. So I think we're gonna all out attack here and then maybe do some shenanigans with Paragon. This gets up to 5 and I can get it up to 6. So I can maybe force the block. So maybe I should go Steed first. Or I just want to go wide and pump the 3/4. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Just get in for as much damage as possible. Alright, we got there. We lost the best of 3, but we got the win. Thank you, boss, for doing that last game. Just wanted to at least see if we could get a more ideal scenario. Well, thank you everyone for coming through today. I'm so excited to have a series of these videos coming out for you. Here, we'll just throw the deck up while we're thinking. So let's we can even go into their deck, see what they got. Yeah, I mean, I think Boss, who's a Vivian expert, probably went with a really good place to start for our first draft. I kind of was like, oh, I want to try doing aggro, and they really, he really stuck to, just a deck that he's an expert in, and one that makes a lot of sense, right? Like, Grudge Match will probably get fought over. Birds of Paradise can get fought over. Same with Tusker, and then like Infuser's kind of perfect for this deck. Miss Raven, Archer and Trickster can be really great defensive options. Most people are probably not going to pick Briarhorn or Baloth. And then, Momir is perfect for the deck. Vicious Mongrel, just a really good stat stick. And then, no one else besides, Ellen, I guess, was like thinking about green. And so like Woodland Hermitage was pretty open. I think I should have, when I look at their draft, I probably should have taken Trading Yard way later. I probably didn't even need to spend a pick on this that early. So that's something I'm thinking about. Yeah, and they just got a couple really good green legendaries for their deck, aside from Karazakar, and just I think made a really, really solid deck. So yeah, right now, Boss is up 2-1. Ellen's got some games in here. So yeah, I'm just really, really pumped to play this out. Let me actually go back to my original deck real quick. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like for anyone who's a limited buff, I'd be happy to hear, what you've been wanting to see from limited in Spellslingers. I think there are just so many different things you can do, and I'm probably going to try and figure out whether it's a cube or like sets I would just love to like do deck building with sets, because I think that just really mimics, you're getting more and more away from constructed, and you're getting closer and closer to, maybe I do want to draft some of these cheap creatures that normally wouldn't be good, but in this context are better. So, thank you all for joining me today. I hope, although we had some losses in here, that it was just getting some of those creative, juices flowing for like how can you organize your own team draft. And stay tuned. We're definitely going to have some more videos up as soon as I get those matches out. All right. Take care, everyone.